Before we begin, take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale gently through your mouth. Feel the air move through you. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your presence in this very moment. Leave behind everything that happened before now. The noise, the pressure, the expectations. Today, this message is for you. For every woman who gives endlessly, who loves deeply, who carries everyone's pain but forgets her own healing. For every woman who stays strong for others, yet feels unseen when she is breaking inside. Ladies, it's time to return home. To yourself. Because no one can pour from an empty cup. No one can shine if their own light is fading. This is your reminder. You are not selfish for choosing yourself. You are wise. You are awakening. The world has taught you to give until you are empty, but today you learn to give to yourself first. This message will not just speak to your mind, it will speak to your soul. So listen carefully, breathe deeply, and remember, your life changes the moment you decide to think about yourself always. Before we begin, take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale gently through your mouth. Feel the air moving through you. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your presence in this very moment. Leave behind everything that happened before now, the noise, the expectations, the doubts, and come back to yourself, fully aware, fully alive. Today, I want to speak to you, especially to every woman who has forgotten her own light, who has given so much to others that she no longer remembers what it feels like to truly receive. Ladies, the message is simple. Think about yourself, always. Part 1, the forgotten self. For generations, women have been taught to give. They are raised to care for others, to nurture, to sacrifice. The mother gives to her children. The wife gives to her husband. The daughter gives to her family. The friend gives to her circle. And somewhere along the way, she forgets herself. She forgets her dreams, her desires, her voice. And when that happens, something inside begins to fade. The spark that once made her radiant turns into a quiet ember. She smiles, but the smile hides exhaustion. She gives, but she feels empty inside. And no one notices, because she has become so good at pretending that she's fine. But tell me, how can a tree keep bearing fruit if its roots are starving for water? How can a flame keep burning if it is never fed? You see, thinking about yourself is not selfishness, it is self-preservation. It is remembering that you are not just here to serve everyone else's story. You are the author of your own life too. When you forget yourself, you begin to live for others. You make decisions based on what others expect. You dress, speak, and act in ways that please everyone but you. You silence your heart to avoid conflict. You ignore your intuition to maintain peace. But here is the truth. Peace that costs your inner harmony is not peace. It is self-betrayal, and every act of self-betrayal dims your light just a little more, until one day you wake up and no longer recognize the woman in the mirror. She looks familiar, but her eyes have lost their fire. She is tired, not from working hard, but from carrying everyone's burdens except her own dreams. So today, I ask you to pause, to stop giving for a moment, and simply be with yourself. Ask, what do I want? What do I feel? What do I need? These questions are sacred. They are the doorway to rediscovering who you truly are. The world does not need another woman who lives only to please. The world needs women who are awake, who are aware, who are in love with themselves, not in vanity but in understanding. When you think about yourself, you begin to reconnect with your essence. You start listening to your body, to your emotions, to your soul. You realize that your worth was never in how much you do for others, but in who you are when you are alone. In that awareness, you begin to heal. The cracks of exhaustion start to close. The weight of guilt begins to lift. You start to breathe again freely, and that breath, your breath, is the first step back home to yourself. This is the beginning of the journey of remembering your forgotten self. the energy of awareness. To think about yourself always is to awaken the inner observer, the quiet awareness that watches your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. It means to become conscious of the energy that moves within you and around you. Because ladies, everything is energy. The people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, the thoughts you repeat daily, all of it shapes the frequency of your life. Most people live unconsciously, reacting to everything around them without ever pausing to ask, why am I feeling this way? Why did I respond like that? Why does this situation drain me? Awareness means you begin to notice these patterns, not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. When you are aware, you no longer move like a leaf blown by the wind of other people's emotions. You become the tree, rooted, steady, unshaken. You begin to see that every situation, no matter how small, is an opportunity to learn about yourself. When someone angers you, awareness asks, what wound inside me is being touched? When someone drains you, awareness asks, why do I allow this person into my space? When life feels chaotic, awareness whispers, where am I giving my energy that doesn't serve me? This is how transformation begins, not by changing the world, but by understanding yourself within it. The greatest power a woman can have is to know her own energy, to recognize when she is centered and when she is not, to know when her peace is being disturbed and why. Because the truth is, you can't control others. You can't control what they say, how they treat you, or how they perceive you, but you can control how you respond. And your response comes from your level of awareness. When you are unconscious, you react. With awareness, you choose. When you react, you give away your power. When you choose, you reclaim it. That is the difference between chaos and calm, between confusion and clarity. The energy of awareness makes you magnetic. People will feel something different about you. They won't understand it, but they will sense it. You will no longer chase. You will attract. You will no longer please. You will radiate. Because when you know who you are, you stop seeking validation outside of you. You begin to create your reality intentionally. Your thoughts, your words, your choices, they all align with who you truly are. Awareness also means learning to listen to your body. Your body is always speaking. It tells you when something is wrong. It tells you when a situation is not aligned. Your stomach tightens, your heart beats faster, your energy drops. These are not random sensations, they are signals from your intuition. When you honor them, you protect your peace. When you ignore them, you lose your balance. So start paying attention. When you wake up in the morning, notice how you feel. Who or what gives you energy? Who or what drains it? Become the guardian of your inner world, because everything external reflects what is happening internally. The more aware you are of yourself, the more power you hold. The less you allow the outside world to control your emotions, the more free you become. Master Shi Heng Yi says, awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. So shine your awareness on your own life. Shine it on your habits, on your patterns, on your choices, the strength of boundaries. Ladies, to think about yourself always is to protect your energy. Because your energy is sacred. It is the invisible force that shapes your reality, your peace, and your purpose. Not everyone deserves access to it. There are people who come into your life not to add, but to take. They feed on your kindness, your time, your attention, your emotional strength. And the truth is, they will continue to take for as long as you allow them to. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They are the doors that you open with intention and close with wisdom. They tell the world, this is how I deserve to be treated. But many women have been taught that saying no is cruel. They are told to always be available, always be kind, always forgive, even when their soul is screaming for rest. But listen carefully, saying no is not rejection. It is protection. It is an act of self-respect. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you say no to your own peace. And peace is not something you can afford to lose. Because once your peace is gone, everything else falls apart. Your mind becomes restless, your heart becomes heavy, your energy becomes scattered. But when you honor your boundaries, your life begins to realign. You start to attract people who respect your space, who value your time, who match your frequency. Boundaries are a reflection of self-worth. They say, I value my time, my energy, my emotions too much to give them where they are not appreciated. It takes strength to set them. It takes courage to enforce them. Because not everyone will understand your boundaries. Some will call you distant. Some will say you've changed. But that's okay. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to protect your alignment. You're here to evolve. When you start setting boundaries, life becomes lighter. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You no longer feel the guilt of disappointing others. You understand that your responsibility is not to make everyone happy. Your responsibility is to keep your soul at peace. And that is not selfish, that is wisdom. Master Shi Heng Yi teaches that balance exists when you stop swinging between extremes, when you find the still point between giving and receiving. Boundaries are that still point. They remind you that giving without limits is not love, it's self-neglect. A woman without boundaries becomes tired, resentful, disconnected. But a woman with boundaries becomes radiant, strong, and unshakable. She gives from overflow, not emptiness. She loves deeply, but not blindly. She helps others, but not at the cost of herself. When you set boundaries, you begin to see who truly values you. Some will walk away, and that's fine, let them go. People who love your weakness will never respect your strength. People who used to control you will fear your independence. But your job is not to shrink for their comfort, it's to rise for your freedom. So ladies, remember this. A no that protects your peace is far more powerful than a yes that destroys it. Don't be afraid to close doors. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from noise. Your peace, your energy, your time, these are treasures. Guard them like sacred fire, because once you lose them, it takes years to recover. And every time you honor your boundaries, you teach the world how to honor you. This is the strength of boundaries, the silent power of self-respect, the path of solitude. When you begin to think about yourself always, the path of solitude will appear before you. It is not a punishment, it is an awakening. It is the universe's way of saying, now that you have chosen yourself, you must walk alone for a while. You see, solitude is not loneliness, it is clarity. It is where the noise of the world fades and the voice of your soul becomes clear. For many women, solitude feels uncomfortable at first. You are used to giving, to being surrounded, to being needed. But when you finally pull back your energy and stop pouring into everyone else, the silence can feel heavy. It feels like loss, but it is not loss. It is space. Space for healing, space for truth, space for rebirth. In solitude, you meet yourself again, the version of you that existed before the world told you who you should be. The woman who laughed freely, the woman who dreamed without fear, the woman who trusted her own voice. This woman still lives within you, waiting to be remembered. But you can only hear her when you are still, when you are no longer drowning in other people's expectations. Solitude teaches you that peace is not found in company, it is found in alignment. The world tells you that you need someone to complete you, that love from others will fill your emptiness. But real love begins when you stop seeking completion and start becoming whole within yourself. A woman who walks alone is not weak, she is powerful. Because walking alone means she has learned to trust her own steps. She has learned to sit with her own thoughts, to comfort her own heart, to find joy in her own presence. When you walk alone, you learn to see life differently. You begin to notice things you never saw before, the beauty in silence, the wisdom in stillness, the strength in vulnerability. You start to realize that being alone is not isolation, it is elevation. It is a sacred season where your energy resets, your spirit recalibrates, and your focus sharpens. But be warned, when you choose solitude, not everyone will understand. They will say you've changed, and they will be right. You have changed. You have stopped begging for attention. You have stopped chasing validation. You have stopped explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. And in that silence, something miraculous happens. You begin to glow differently. Your peace becomes your power. Your calm becomes your crown. You become untouchable, not because you are cold, but because you are complete. The people who truly belong in your life will not be repelled by your solitude. They will respect it. They will not fear your silence. They will find peace within it too. So do not rush to fill your quiet moments. Do not fear the stillness that surrounds you. Sit in it. Breathe in it. Let it cleanse you. Solitude is where you remember that you were never truly alone. Your spirit is with you. Your Creator is with you. Your purpose is with you. And when you rise from this sacred silence, you will no longer crave company to feel whole. You will no longer seek love to feel worthy. You will walk with peace, and peace will follow you wherever you go. That is the power of solitude. It strips away the noise so that only truth remains. It is the path every strong woman must walk, not to escape the world, but to return home, to herself. The power of self-trust. To think about yourself always is to develop an unshakable trust in yourself. Trust is not built overnight. It is forged through every decision you make, every challenge you overcome, every time you choose to listen to your inner voice instead of the noise around you. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence, the quiet strength that whispers, "I know who I am, and I know what I am capable of." But many women have been taught to doubt themselves from an early age. They are told to seek approval before acting, to wait for permission before speaking, to second-guess their own instincts. And so, they grow up disconnected from their inner guidance, always looking outward for answers that were always meant to come from within. But hear me clearly, your intuition is not weakness, it is wisdom. Your emotions are not chaos, they are communication. Your instincts are not random, they are sacred signals guiding you toward alignment. When you start trusting yourself, life begins to flow in harmony. You stop forcing outcomes, you stop chasing validation. You begin to walk with quiet certainty, knowing that even if others don't understand your path, it is still yours to walk. Self-trust means believing in your ability to handle whatever life brings, even when you don't have all the answers. It means knowing that mistakes are not failures, they are teachers. It means understanding that rejection is not a reflection of your worth, it is redirection toward what truly belongs to you. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when your mind says, "What if I'm wrong?" When fear whispers you're not ready. In those moments, remember this: growth never feels safe. The path of self-trust often feels lonely because few dare to walk it. But every time you follow your intuition and it leads you to peace, your faith in yourself grows stronger. Every time you choose yourself, your energy aligns deeper with truth. Master Shi Heng often says, "The body knows, the heart knows, but the mind hesitates." That hesitation is fear disguised as logic. It keeps you trapped in cycles of uncertainty. But once you begin to trust your inner knowing, you break free from that prison. You stop overthinking. You stop asking for validation. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, and you start creating it. Self-trust also means forgiving yourself for the times you ignored your intuition, for the times you allowed others to silence you, for the times you betrayed yourself just to be accepted. Forgive it all. Because those moments were lessons, not losses. They taught you the value of listening to your own voice. Every experience, every heartbreak, every disappointment, it was preparing you to trust yourself more deeply. Now you understand that you don't need external approval to move forward. You don't need confirmation to be certain. You only need alignment within. When you trust yourself, your energy becomes grounded. Your decisions become firm. Your actions become powerful. You radiate assurance, not arrogance. You speak with conviction, not aggression. You lead with presence, not pride. This is true strength, the kind that doesn't shout but shines. A woman who trusts herself cannot be manipulated. She cannot be swayed by opinions or controlled by fear. She knows that her path may not always be easy, but it will always be true. So, ladies, stop questioning your worth. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. Start believing in yourself. Your intuition is your compass. Your heart is your guide. Your trust in yourself is your power. When you think about yourself always, you stop living by permission. You start living by purpose. And that is the essence of freedom. Part 6. The Way of the Inner Warrior. Ladies, to think about yourself always is not arrogance. It is awakening. It is the realization that your existence carries divine purpose, that your soul came here to evolve, to rise, to express the highest version of itself. But to awaken that power within, you must become the inner warrior, a woman rooted in peace, yet unshakable in strength. The world will test you. It will throw challenges your way, not to break you, but to reveal you. It will send people who doubt you, situations that exhaust you, and moments that question your worth. And in those times, the only thing that will keep you steady is your connection to yourself. That is why self-focus is not selfish. It is survival. Because when you are disconnected from yourself, you are easily controlled by fear, opinions, and external pressure. But when you are connected to yourself, you move with purpose. You stop reacting to life. You start responding with clarity. You become calm, grounded, powerful. You are no longer a leaf in the wind. You are the wind itself. The inner warrior is not loud. She doesn't need to prove herself. She doesn't chase recognition. She simply knows who she is and walks in alignment with that truth. She lives from within, not from without. She doesn't seek approval. She embodies it. She doesn't compete. She creates. This is what it means to think about yourself always. To move through life with awareness. To choose your energy intentionally. To build your world from the inside out. A warrior woman protects her peace like sacred ground. She doesn't let everyone touch her spirit. She doesn't explain her decisions endlessly. She simply honors what feels right for her, even if no one else understands. Because she knows her intuition is her compass, her solitude is her teacher, her boundaries are her armor, and her self-trust is her sword. Through awareness, she becomes wise. Through solitude, she becomes whole. Through boundaries, she becomes powerful. Through self-trust, she becomes unstoppable. This is the evolution of a conscious woman. She transforms pain into strength, silence into wisdom, and doubt into faith. And when she moves with grace. Even her stillness carries power. Master Shi Heng Yi teaches that true mastery is not found in fighting against life, but in flowing with it. The inner warrior understands this deeply. She does not resist what comes, she learns from it. She does not fear endings, she honors them as beginnings. She does not crumble when alone, she stands taller in her solitude. When the world grows loud, she retreats inward. When chaos rises, she breathes deeper. When fear knocks, she opens the door with calm and says, "I know who I am." Because a woman who knows herself cannot be shaken. She may bend, but she will not break. She may fall, but she always rises stronger. Every wound becomes wisdom. Every failure becomes fuel. Every ending becomes transformation. So ladies, every morning before you step into the noise of the world, return to your center. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, your peace is your power. Your focus is your strength. Your self-awareness is your shield. Fill your cup first. Breathe with purpose. Move with intention. Speak with truth. Walk with grace. You are not here to chase approval. You are here to embody alignment. The world doesn't need more women who are exhausted from giving too much. It needs women who are grounded in themselves, who lead with compassion, yet never abandon their own truth. Ladies, think about yourself always, not because the world demands it, but because your soul deserves it. Remember, the woman who knows herself becomes the light in every room she enters. She moves differently, she loves differently, she lives differently. That is the way of the inner warrior. The woman who is at peace within, unshakable without, and forever guided by the wisdom of her own soul.